Hi guys, welcome back to the Frappe Podcast. My name is Foram. I'm going to be your host and I am a content marketer at Frappe. For this episode, we have Umair Sayed as our guest. He is the co-founder at Frappe and he wears so many hats. I'm really excited to have him on the podcast. This is not the first time we have worked together, and when I worked for Frappe School, he was at Frappe School. He does partnerships, he does writing, and he has so many stories to tell about the things he does. And I'm so excited to have him here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling about being on this podcast?
Excited. And yeah, I don't know how it's going to come out. So it has its own excitement. So you don't know
Yeah.
how it will turn out.
Yeah, I think this is one of the first ones they're shooting, so it's
Sure.
like everybody's really excited to see how it goes. And me too, like I want to know like everything. So maybe we can just start at the beginning and like right now we all know you as, you go you train developers, you train people in ERP Next, you go around the world talking about ERP Next. But where it all began, like what did you imagine being here as a student?
Not at all. When you're studying, you're just, noobs going to school. All you want to become is what your parents say, what they see you in you, and the social pressure and everything. That's what shape your opinion, right? So in our Indian typical families, that if it's a boy, we have to become engineer, right? So that was the thing with me also. I didn't even knew how many streams are there in engineering, but I wanted to become and I needed to become an engineer, right, to fulfill my parents and sisters' ambitions. I have many sisters, so that was the only thing. I never thought of basically being in such an a creative, ambitious space, and I really find myself lucky to be at Frappe even now. Given the talent we have around.
If you have to say, how many roles in total have you held? Like 10?
No, no, not that many, but I think we can count on fingertips. When I joined Frappe, I think it was way too early. Frappe wasn't really there at that point of time. I used to do a bit of sales. Then I tried taking up support. That was our good fit, or a first fit, I would say, which lasted for I think 6 7 years. Then as companies kept evolving and we went in search for a business model, while product was there, we got into services. So I also got involved into building the service or a delivery team. Then we realized that no, this is not our thing. We should be actually delivering things through partners. So I got into partnerships. So I think, yeah, this is through partnership. Then we realize that we need to actually train people. That's probably the bottleneck, because if we are onboarding partners, if they're not trained, nothing is gonna work.
Right.
So somehow got into Frappe School thing. I think broadly, I consider myself doing ecosystem. That's a term which really aligns with my vision for Frappe, and I love that term also for some reasons. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very like community building term. I think like from what you said right now, it seems like you discovered a problem and then you solved it, and then you discovered more problems and then you solved them, right? But I really do want to start like how has like growing up been for you?
I was born in Mumbai only, in Bandra, in a very humble family. I grew up in a joint family, like the culture in India mostly, and my father family itself is I think big. I was around. I mean, there were many people around. I was one of the last kids, so also got some pampering. But my education, there was already some, I think system which was followed, and most of my sisters and elders went to Urdu school. I also started my education from a municipality school in BKC. At that point of time, the BKC we know today, it was very different. There was no
Not like big
corporates,
buildings.
yeah, no banks, nothing like that. So a very underdeveloped, and I still live there. By the way, it's a place where we have row houses. And things are still getting built up. So at that point of time, I went into a municipality school, and I did my fourth grades from there. Interestingly, there was no even a subject called English till fourth standard, and I'm just putting it out there because people would know why my English is how it is.
I mean, nobody could tell you anything about it in the first place. And your journey is your journey. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah, I was introduced to English as a subject only in fifth grade when I went to a different school. in Bandra West, and little bigger school, but still Urdu medium school, and all the subjects, including math, science, history, and everything was in Urdu. That one thing, though, now that I have survived somehow, but still I have some attachment with my culture through language, is one thing I really thank my parents. I didn't do as great as the expectations were from me in 10th grade. So we thought of giving it one more shot. So
Yep.
after 10th, I got into 12th, because right after 10th, I couldn't get into diploma, engineering diploma. 12th was even bad. As destiny had it for me, and I believe in destiny, I got myself enrolled into business management. Again, it was a college very nearby, got admission through minority quota, and till then I had some grip on English as a language. So business management, especially after doing science stream, was not that big a challenge, and luckily, as I said, destiny probably had it for me. Whatever I studied in business management is still helpful and applicable for me in my work. Right, we studied about material management, production management, plant layout, statistics and whatnot. So
It's a good base for understanding, like especially both right now, like the system we have, the product we have.
mostly actually what we study in school, college, generally it doesn't
Right.
apply to work, right? But luckily for me, I think it really helped me. After graduation, I think I had a difficult time finding my first breakthrough. I would get out of the house saying that I have something in my hand and I'm being trained, and it's gonna take time for me to start getting my paychecks.
But you were just
So I didn't have
searching
anything.
for a job.
Yeah. So it
That
went on for like 4 months. I would get out of the house with some chapatis packed for me, and just roam around, look for opportunity, and keep trying. And one fine day, I think through HR agency, I heard about a company which was named differently at that point of time, but interview was pretty smooth. I think that 4 month really
set you off
shaped me
with
up.
a really good.
Yeah, and
It must be like a lot of like pressure as well, right? Every single day going out of the house.
indeed, it was emotional period, and that's what actually difficult times is what shape you up as a person. So maybe it comes for your own betterment.
Yeah.
It's bitter pill, but for
Definitely
your
again. Yeah. So then this company you're talking about now is Frappe, right? Like first was, I'm guessing, notes and reports. That's why you joined.
right. So that was the company Rushabh started with his friend, and that couple of customers, family businesses. So that was the company, and I joined in 2007, and they were working on a project management tool. So I think Rushabh by then had framework. Using that framework only, they were building project management application, which didn't work. I think we tried for like 3-4 months, and I think we couldn't sell it. But there was some customers for CRM application, ERP application, and I think from that point of time, I remember Rushabh having that clarity that he wanted to make that company ERP shop,
Okay.
right? So, and that's what eventually, even
Right.
today we are.
I don't know if that at that time was it like a long term vision, or like it was just this is something I want to do, because it's quite interesting that it played out. It's been 18 years, right? We just celebrated our 18th year
Yeah.
as Pape.
I think it was Rushabh's vision because he comes from a business family. He had seen shop floor. He had seen how businesses work. He had built an ERP solution for his family business. Probably that work which he did for a family business gave him that clarity that ERP is the right thing to do.
And for you, like, how did that feel for you to like one company didn't work out just to go to something else and still put all your faith into it? How did you come up with that belief and conviction?
No, at that point of time, all you basically care about is, do you have a job in your hand? Yeah.
That's
So
also
I'm
true.
being very, very honest. After very, very humble education and struggle, if you get a job, all you want is, you don't want to lose that job at that point of time, right? So as far as company is running, going in some direction, you just want to be part of that journey. I think it took a while for me, because as I said, I started the journey in Frappe with sales profile,
Right.
which is I'm not at all a right cutout for that role.
Okay.
But very soon, when we had some product and we had some customers, I started getting into implementation and support, right? So since from very beginning we had SaaS plans, and we had some early adopters for our product, we had this support profile, and I latched onto it. Though there were some doubts about my profile at that point of time, but I think I delivered well in support. So that became one thing to hold on to, and I somehow survived. But I think it was then 7-8 years of journey of
Yeah.
me doing support.
Just
Uh,
just support for all those years.
Support through different channels. So there was chat support which we would do. There was ticket based support which we would do. After a point, then we realized, and one thing which we really value at Frappe is building assets. Right. So if you are not building long term assets, I think you need to
Yeah, start doing
yeah,
it. Yeah.
you need to do that, and we really appreciate that, because we as a company are building assets, right? So to have a right alignment with the company's values, I think building assets was very important. So I also started contributing user manual, which was very basic. And I think I remember we did first version of user manual in some in Blogspot, which is not even actually a platform designed for writing user manual, but somehow we used, and that's where our first version of user manual was. Then I started making first version of videos, though I didn't have any background into video creation, but I think I had MacBook thanks to company, and I learned and started making videos. So building those assets, I think, along with support, really added lots of value in the ecosystem. Many people adopted product by learning, how to operate product through user manual and videos,
Videos
and it
also.
led to lots of adoption.
And you were like one of the only non-tech roles at that point also, right? Like, was it, um, was it alienating or was it empowering? Like, did you feel like you were doing something very different?
Not completely true, because we also had Prakash ji, who would handle admin and accounts. So two of us, I think, were the only two
Non-tech roles,
non-dev.
yeah.
No, I think at that point of time, that ambition and foresight was there. So I think from where we started,
So it
or
was
how that alignment came. I think when I saw the potential of the product, of the platform, and I don't know what was that moment, but I saw myself playing crucial role in Frappe's journey by then.
Yeah, I think I've gotten there, right? Like the ecosystem is one of the biggest things that we're known for. Everybody we talk to, every person who's us like partnered with us as a partner, as a community member, contributes without like having any other motives. Like it's so great to have that sense of support for one product and now a lot of products that we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, like community is the biggest part of
Yeah.
what we do. Like I keep thinking that there are not many companies who have they have great products, but they have okay communities. But we have like a great product and a great community, and that's something pretty cool.
Yeah, I think everything takes time. Uh, it was, I think, year 2009 when the product was open sourced, and even at that point of time, we didn't have a great understanding as to what open sourcing is, and how to build a community, what it takes to build a community, right? So what you would probably expect is, once you have open source a product and given it away to the community, they would come thanking, appreciating, that wow, such a great thing, and you have open sourced it and stuff like that. But it wasn't that easy. Again, it was a different journey altogether. So after product was open sourced, deployment was still a challenge. I think it took quite iterations for our developers to simplify the installation so that people could actually use it.
Do it themselves,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then even when the product is in their hands, and they are able to use it, implement it, build their business on top of it, of course there will be some acknowledgement, but it would you would also experience some entitlements, that this thing doesn't work, how can you have broken thing, this feature has to be there, so you have to still address them. It's not like, okay, this is free, this is what you get,
Yeah, you're
and
still
be
the
happy.
OEM.
And
You still have the
right,
responsibility.
right, you still have to go and feed. So I think good 4 or 5 years of our core team went into seeding the community, engaging with people, community through discuss forum, through different channel. We started doing conferences also, just giving product away for free, which
Didn't
people like
do anything.
isn't enough. You have to basically do a lot more things, a lot more education, a lot more support. While we are talking about community, I would love to mention some people like Mr. John Clark. He was from USA, and apart from Frappe team, I think he was the first person who really took up the responsibility and started answering unreplied queries.
That's so nice of him, like just out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know if he was really building his business around it, but I think he also visited one of our conferences, and we acknowledged. And even today, we have a award, given out in his memory. Then I think you just need one leader, right, who basically started the journey. Then I think many people in the community followed same steps, and now mostly the community is seeding itself, right? We are at a point, at least on the discuss forum, because I very rarely visit now, which is my bad.
But I think overall also, not just bringing up a community, but doing business in open source is also tough, because you're here giving out your product, and and obviously people are gonna say, okay, this is good, this is bad, uh, and it's a very long journey to make something like perfect. So
Yeah.
and like now we have a new page also, like the contributors page, and there are so many people helping us out. Like it started, but like 10 years, 20 years ago, and now there are like people just doing developments, making new features, doing so many customizations. Like every partner I talk to has like 10 apps that they made on the framework just for each project. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that was always a vision our founder had. He didn't want to basically make a software. He wanted to make a software which allows people to make software,
Software.
right? So that's why framework. And most of the time, the great developer team, the core, I think, differentiator which we have as a Frappe, we are mostly building tools most of the time, and
Yeah.
which helps people build rapid application.
And like this mindset of not being exclusive, being, everything that we do is open source. Basically, we run a company also in a very democratic way, right? So is this the also part of what made you stay this whole time? Like apart from the belief in the product, is this also a factor?
Yeah, it's a long journey. So I won't say that I had an alignment from day one. Right. So philosophical aspects are even harder to grasp. Luckily, in my childhood, I mean, in my upbringing from the religious circle, which actually was not really hard sold to me. I was in circle where, along with religious stuff teaching, Socratic system was part of it, wherein we would actually sit in a circle and inquire what you did last day, what are you gonna do tomorrow, and stuff like that. That group is pretty infamously called Tablighi Jamaat now after COVID. So I had a little taste of sociocratic model at that point of time, but it's not really, unfortunately, practiced in our families, right? But at Frappe, I think the open source philosophy, along with the technicality which it involves, took quite a while for me to even grasp, understand what it means. My first hands-on experience, I would say, when I tried writing a Wikipedia article,
Hmm.
when it got some traction, and I contributed to a public asset, right? Because in my own capacity as a non-developer, I think that was the thing of contributing something in a community and building an asset. And after that, I wrote a couple of articles, and I got some sense and flavor of what contributing to and building community asset, public assets are like, and why it should not be owned. It should be community owned, because whatever you build on, it's actually someone else's work already, right? So if you have to write any Wikipedia article, you have to basically first
Refer
get
to something
the
else.
yeah, refer the each and every sentence
Yeah.
mostly, right? So, and it is someone else's work,
Yeah.
right? You're not actually reinventing the wheel or writing something from scratch. You're maybe just putting things together, which has already been the groundwork is already done by the people.
It's like they say, right? Like no idea is actually original. Somebody somewhere has already like thought of it, and you're just, you know, either referring to them, taking inspiration from them. So, and in general also, like Indian families, we're not brought up to be freedom oriented. We're brought up to be rule oriented, right? Like
Yeah, big time, big time. So I think this Carl Sagan's statement, right? If you have to basically make an apple pie from scratch, you'll have to invent the universe from scratch, right? So of course, I mean, whoever we are, what we think, and everything is accumulation of, I think, years of knowledge, and can go up to genetics. I'm not expert in that topic, but that's what I think we are. We have acquired and become whatever we have become due to lots of work and hard work by, I think, previous generations, and that's also in a way natural. I mean, you look at the religious text, it's not patented. You look at the knowledge in itself, it's not patented. Everyone is basically allowed to
learn what they
go
can.
acquire knowledge, especially after having printing presses and everything. When you buy a newspaper copy, you the publisher can't really restrict people to from reading from readership. So
Yeah.
you can have 10 people reading same newspaper, you can have 50 people reading same book which is kept in a library. But somehow basically this thing happened in softwares when you have ownership. Though you pay for the software, the ownership is with the creator, not
Yeah.
with the person who have already paid for the software. But thing with human is basically we internalize and we normalize things, right? When someone says that, okay, this is actually not how it should be, but at first we know about a concept, we somehow internalize it, and then we
Then we do the same
normalize
thing
it.
without like, yeah, we were conditioned to do it, so we do it. Like, and it's a very good point that you brought up, because if all of these things are based on community, accessible, then why shouldn't the work we do? Because like to some level, I do believe that like our product is better because it's open source, right? It's not like too many cooks spoil the broth. I think it's opposite in this case, where like so many people are contributing. There are so many new ideas. So our product is better. The company is better for it, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, so I think while it's open source and there are lots of people who are contributing, you have to basically do lots of gatekeeping
Yeah.
in the interest of maintaining quality standards, stability, scalability, which end customers experience. So end customers want stability, security, features, right? So what they want probably is very different as to how you want to run the company. From in their interest, you have to basically have systems in place, have people in place. But at the same time, what I think great thing which happened with Frappe is we also made architecture in a way, and deployment architecture in a way. It gives freedom to the partners and ecosystem players to build their stuff separately and have code stuff in a separate way.
Yeah.
So that has given lots of creative space for our own team, for our partners, for the customers to tinker around.
Yeah. And
At
then
the same have stable deployment.
we're also telling the story right now. Now that this has become a very big thing for us, like we talk every day, we talk about it at Frappe, and it's so ingrained in us. This is what our conditioning is after working at Frappe, is that it's open source, and things should be this way. But it's not for everyone. Like people hearing about this, for us, these are everyday topics. People hearing about this for the first time, they'll be like, "This is not usual." People like to keep things exclusive. People like to have ownership, like to charge for things, and in this way, we're telling a story, right? Every person, every partner, every community member, every customer will know this story because they're using our product. And that's something so much deeper than just making something and selling it.
Just a recent story of our team going to Egypt to meet partners. And every time actually we go and meet partners, the kind of heartening welcome and reception which we get, though it's credit of many people, but I think mostly me and people who basically front end
Talk to them the most.
yeah,
Yeah.
get lots of reception. It's very heartening, and there have been instances wherein people have taken us to very, very beautiful places just out of sheer concern, sheer love for the ecosystem,
Yeah.
and the value, of course, which they are getting out of it. To an extent that our team was there in Egypt, and they wanted to go a museum.
And they
Museum was
open it after
closed, and
hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
someone from the community member called some influential people, and they got the museum open.
It's so cool. Like we got into a museum after hours. It's a very
That too in Egypt, right? So you can actually the oldest civilization. You can imagine what kind of crazy stuff they must be having, and you're getting a personalized tour.
yeah, very celebrity moment for
I think there's this other side also, people coming and taking pics and whatnot.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's years of effort, and it's I think I tend to eat lots of credit because of being the face of the company most of the time. But I think it's effort of many people, which has gone in, including community members also.
And you like told me since we were speaking about stories, you've told me that you like to write, you like to tell stories, and you said that you are the face of Frappe in a way. And in that role also, you must be telling stories all the time. Like, how does it feel to just keep saying what we do, why we do it, how we do it, to so many different people?
I think as human, we buy stories, right? We don't buy theories and concepts because it's not written in a natural language. I mean, I don't know what
Yes.
Pythagoras here and stuff like that is, and probably I should know. But what I remember is basically stories which we learned in school, like story of Ali Baba, a story of a different thing which we even tell to our kids today. We memorize stories. We learn from stories. Is basically what I think I have sold myself. And at Frappe also, when it comes to communicating with people, when it comes to writing, we prefer story as a format rather than plain
Yeah.
writing, right? Because you have characters, you have context, and that's how we live in a normal life, right? So it's easy for the person to relate.
Hmm.
So if I tell and go and tell a partner that you do one, two, three, four, five thing, and then I think this will be better for you. There'll be lots of, I think, the way they would probably approach it would be different
Yeah.
as compared to if I simply tell them that there is this another partner and they're doing these things
Hmm.
and they grow from this much to this much. That sells much better, right?
Yeah.
So it's not about basically just what really sells. Of course, that is also important, but it's also genuine, and it also helps people, understand and adapt what you want to convey. So I think our marketing playbook and whatever you call it, we want to be or a good storytelling is our marketing philosophy in a sense.
Yeah, everything we do, like everything we discuss in the team also is just like how do we tell the story better? And this is the example you gave is the exact thing I think all our partner managers do. Like they tell the stories of other partners and motivate partners to go higher, go to another tier, do more work. And I think it's the best way to go about it because like I don't think any marketing discussion you ever had has been that, oh, let's do branding this way. It's more about let's tell this person's story, let's tell our story so that people can just know. Because like example, we're doing the democracy at work conference right now, and after practicing democracy as a company for more than 10 years, more than a decade, we're finally telling people about it. And it feels so, everybody's so excited. Like, I know Rushabh is excited. The rest of the team is also excited to be like, oh, this is how we actually work on a day to day level. And now you want to tell everybody. So everything is just a really, good, well thought out, and personal journey in that sense.
Yeah, that's much crazier social experiment going on at Frappe. I think that's the real essence as to what we have been able to build and ship as a company. I think what works in the behind is this entire model of democracy, sociocratic decision making, and enabling people, right? So I think you also asked that earlier as to how it has helped me uh, and helped me stay is basically I came as a blank paper, in Frappe. Because education doesn't help you as much anyways. It doesn't help you to write as you should write. It doesn't help you to think as you need to think. It didn't even help me basically uh, learn decent amount of computing, like basic Excel or Word or anything like that. We would do projects just for the sake of it, and submit and get our grades. So even at operating computer, I was not that great, right? So I just came in as a blank paper. It was just this sheer belief that we want to basically build Frappe as a place wherein we enable people. We don't look at as to what they can do, what we need to get out of them, and just match that together and work mechanically. The Frappe provides you environment to think what you want to become,
Yeah.
and what are the blockers, and what you can do to remove that blockers, and do it good for yourself first, because what's in it for me, that's very human.
Yeah, selfishness
Right.
is very natural.
And once you have unshackled yourself, then naturally you are in a position to also contribute for the company,
Right.
right? But I think that's um, enabling people and giving the environment, giving the freedom, having these values which we have, is all around we becoming a better people, like ourselves think. And that has really helped me, take up different responsibility, learn things, do things. I could have probably be lot better given the opportunity and time I had at Frappe. But it has been really a learning journey, and we always consider ourselves learners. We always have workshops and learning sessions internally, because I think that's the journey, that's the process.
Yeah, like there is enough room for experimentation with the fact that there is still accountability on you. Like most companies, you go, you give an interview, they tell you you have to do this job, and then you do it because you have to. Yeah. But here it's like, what do you like doing? What do you have fun doing? And there are so many checkpoints where she asks our team, ke, oh, are you actually having fun doing what you're doing? Like, and then sometimes people say yes, sometimes people say no. And like, I know of so many people in our team who have switched like teams drastically.
Yeah.
It's like the fact that we let that happen, and it's very normal for us to let that happen, is just unique in itself. Like for me also, when I joined in Frappe school, and then eventually when I was finding it like, repetitive, I was like, I want to move into marketing. And it was, everybody was okay with it. Nobody said like, oh no, we hire you to do this. And like I knew I had a commitment, and I made sure that that commitment was finished. But nobody said, okay, if you're not having fun, you still have to do it. Otherwise, you should leave, because that's not the culture we have only.
Yeah, on that note, Forum, we still don't have course creators.
I'm very
But
sorry.
we are I think we'll find a better answer to it. That's also part of Rappe's journey, is basically you have to find the answers, and given the community, I think we'll find a better answer. Yeah, I think there's no point. I mean, coming at other values which Frappe has, and when I say these words, not that I'm great at that. I'm also, kind of striving and trying to imbibe and follow those values, like excellence and authenticity, freedom. So these are very, very big terms, has lots of influence. And if you want to basically get best out of people, you have to give them creative space. You have to basically ensure that whatever work they do aligns with their own interest. And that's where I think your the leadership also gets critical, at Frappe. So
Yeah.
I'm not really great at that, the mentoring aspect of finding what actually is great for people, and nudging them in that direction. I'm more of kind of getting the more of task oriented, but trying to at the same time get aligned with people and understand their interest, and at least have the awareness on that particular front, right? But I think what other leaders at Frappe have done, especially Rishabh, is trying to basically connect with them on their individual ambition goal. Where do they come from? In many times, in non-verbal form, you have to basically understand what person's interest is, through body language or different kind of story they tell. And based on that, you have to kind of find a right fit for them in Frappe. In many ways, I think it has worked wonderfully for themselves, for Frappe.
Yeah, it's a wholesome investment in people. Unlike on a very genuine level, it's not like HR saying, "Oh, we're a family." That's not what happens. They're actually interested in how you're doing. We had a long discussion about the culture we have inside the company. This also translates outside the company, right? Like, is that how we grew the community? You were talking about placing the seeds of growing a community and how in the beginning it was like super tough. So, do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. In fact, today in the first half, we had a partner who showed up at our office, and he has been working with us for 15 years now. The team of 60 people, pretty close to our team strength. And I think like him and many other partners also try and look for the formula so that they can create and replicate the magic of Frappe. They try and bring in writing culture, inquire about it, inquire about how do we do offsite, how do we handle workload while we are on offsite, what kind of discussion we do at offsite, what is the outcomes. So in fact, I was just speaking to one of the partner in Thailand, and he was like, "Nah, I'm also on my company offsite." So I think one great thing which is happening at Frappe and the culture which other partners are also trying to spread and offer to their people is creative space, freedom.
Yeah.
From very beginning, right before, even before COVID, we had this idea of hybrid workplace. We didn't start from
Yeah, it was not compulsory to go to
yeah,
office.
even before that we had a hybrid model. But now I think it is normalized, right? So we have seen partner offering that creative space to people. They are also basically building applications. In the last conference which we had, Frappeverse, I think there are good 10 to 15 partners who brought their Frappe apps built as a product and showcased. So while doing services, so people also want to build assets, long term assets, open source it at the same time, right? So that's also a very, very heartening thing. In fact, if I just look at the entire FOSS ecosystem in India, there was no community of FOSS in India, but I think Rishabh and I think Zioza guys initially they collaborated and started India Force, which turned into Force United, which was originally, by the way, ERPNX Foundation. So
Yes.
I started by our team only. Started doing open source community events, right, which also gave platform to open source. Uh, Developer builders, those who needed funding got funding, right? So I think it has really turned into a moment, the open source thing. So that's for the developers. On the ecosystem side, I really find this heartening as to how people who earlier would depend on license based companies to get their certification, pay heavy fee, and become something, even to, I mean, thinking about starting their own
Companies.
company and becoming a service provider was a big thing. It required lots of capital and funding and support. But now, because of open source, I see even small time villagers learning the product, becoming experts and starting with small freelancing and going up to this extent of becoming a job
Market, like in itself,
yeah,
right?
job offerer. They basically become job creators and run their small companies, which is I think really enabler on the community side is one aspect I see.
A couple of partners. One was Khalid, I think, from Egypt, and one was Philip from Germany. Both of them are doing this very interesting thing where they're going to colleges and telling them, okay, you should learn the Frappe framework, get to know Frappe's products, and then we'll have a job for you. And it's such an interesting way to grow the community. Like job creating good jobs and secure jobs for like local communities.
Yeah.
And if like I really do believe that once communities grow locally, then as a whole, it'll also grow much more than that, tenfold actually.
The deeper problem is there, that the kind of education which we get at colleges and engineers we have, what we have heard from education institutes is basically our students are not employable, and that's a gross problem because the needs of an industry as compared to what is being taught at colleges, there's a mismatch, right? When the education system probably is not able to keep up. Now partners going there and teaching, of course there could be multiple aspects. Even partner needs to basically have their own need of hiring, and of course there could be this I think social goal of enabling students, which is
Yeah.
also great. So I think things multiply, good things also multiply. So now that product is open source and people are building on business on top of it, I think everyone in the ecosystem, right from the job seekers, the businesses itself, right? If we talk about the businesses itself, we can go on for hours as to
Yeah.
a small business who couldn't have basically afford a professional ERP solution like this. Now, now that it is available, how much it enables them. So partners, even customers have basically come forth and shared that we have been able to basically grow to 2x, 3x because of
Doing these
the solution in
activities.
place. Yeah, so that they don't have to focus on operations, they can focus on growth. So I think on multiple fronts, over the years we have seen governments coming up with open source policies, and one of the reason, why open source clicked with me is basically this code called public code, um, public money, public code. So I think that makes lots of sense in the open source space, especially for the government. If government is buying anything, it's our money, the taxpayers' money, right? And we as taxpayers have then right to ask as to what we
Yeah.
have bought, how it works. Right? That was probably first thing maybe in 2009, 10 when I had about it. It made sense that yeah,
Mm.
as people, as citizens, we should have access to the back end of the system which government procure. Slowly, and I think there's no kind of one moment and everything is kind of imbibed. One value, one incident by incident, in learning by learning. I think you imbibe values, and then you can get aligned.
One more thing, like I wanted to touch on, which we haven't discussed much, but we talked about it a lot in the past week, is the roles that you've played in growing Frappe, not just its community, but in trainings, in sales and support, whatever. So in these transitions, has there ever been a time where you felt that you're switching because it's difficult, or you're switching because you saw a bigger problem to solve, or what was that one crisis moment that made you switch any of these roles?
Okay, so there's been lots of crisis, especially with me, wherein we've been trying to experiment. I'm not really a person who do lots of research and jump into it. I would, if I have some clarity as to this needs to be fixed, this needs to be done, or there is a gap, I would jump into it and then explore my path. That's what my approach has been, and that also gives me agility. That has been a perpetual thing because maybe just jumping into a thing and exploring and then doing it all the way along is my strength probably.
Yeah, and you've grown a lot, I
But
think, since you said you came like a blank sheet, and you've grown a lot in all these years, right? Like, has that translated to your personal life as well?
yeah, maybe in parenting, it might have impacted me, wherein I try and not just force my kids to complete the syllabus and get good marks. I don't really worry as much about that thing, but are they actually learning thing? Are they enjoying it? Are they understanding the concept behind it? So if I get time, no matter whatever they are learning, if they are just reading and not understanding, I stop them, and tell them to basically just read and try and understand, or just read. uh, and if they are able to read but not really understand the concept or the story behind it, I try and go deeper into it. And yeah, I think every children also have their own journey. So sometime my elder kid probably enjoys it, right? My like, younger one is basically just teach me what I just need to get this out of my way and goes and start playing.
Yeah.
So I think in parenting it has really impacted me to kind of go one level deeper, ask why, as to why are you learning it, what would it will do for you.
It's such a long, like, I think we've come to a full circle where you started with just like doing things because, like, out of necessity to one point, right? And now it comes like you're understanding the why and you're implementing it also. It's a whole circle, like, for full circle moment. And I think a lot of people in our community get to experience it. And it's just so nice in this way to hear that story.
And as I said, I mean, in the journey, I think not really a pro person guy. So I think alignment has been really a challenge. So I, at one point of time, also took a role of product manager, wherein we tried building roadmap for product, because I think community really wants it. They want what is coming next, so that they can prep up and tell their customers and not build something which is already coming. I think that's their main agenda. But it didn't work out because of the cultural aspect, and our developers wanted a freedom and do their stuff, not what is being given by the product team, right? So probably at that point of time we as a team were not ready, but seeing the need, I think I took up that role. We also built a team, and it didn't work out because of the it didn't fit into greater scheme
Of our culture, yeah.
of our culture, of probably needs of that time. Maybe that was a bit too early at that point of time.
Yeah.
So we have I mean, there's no silver bullets, right? From building product to finding a business model, it has taken lots of experiments, lots of hard calls, hiring and firing people, which is really really hard and emotionally charged
Yeah.
stuff. So like that, I think there are lots of moments, and all you can do is basically just stop, see what you could have done better, yeah, and what you could have done to enable more
More
people,
people.
and learn from your own mistakes and keep going on.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to end this. But thank you so much for doing this. I'm excited for everybody to see this episode, and we had a good conversation. I hope you had fun being here.
I hope you had a fun.
Yeah, I did. I did.
So